We got ourselves Brew on Team Red. Not going up first. We got ourselves Gem6 in the back, Jan. We got LOL, and we got Ornash. Ornash is going to be taking a charge out in the open versus team of 4 Obliv. With Christine in the back, we got Jala, and we got a Wrath. Why is it only 4? So sad that it's only 4, but it's okay. We'll still play it out. Obliv rolling in, dude. Look at that. Look at that bald head poking out of that helm. Does that helm automatically give you a bald head, or how does that work? I think it does, doesn't it? Or maybe if you have hair, it will have like a basic version of hair. I don't know. Breath coming out by Obliv onto Ornash, somehow breaking out of the breath early. Maybe with Relentless was able to get an interrupt into Obliv, and looks like he's actually going to go for damage instead of going for Greater Pyro. Just went in for Fire Blast onto Obliv. Maybe Obliv has someone ready for it. He decided not to go for Greater Fire at all. I wonder, maybe he wanted not to get interrupted? Breath coming in by Obliv. Looks like it might be Relent for Ornash. I think he might be playing Relent. Could be wrong though. Greater Pyro is going to come out. Is just going to bail behind. Did throw a Meteor into Ornash. Is going to be able to get some health back from Temporal off of that Meteor. And Obliv looking like he's going to recover a little bit of health as well. These Fire Mages, man, they got damage on a snap. As soon as they need damage, they got blast and damage. Then they get a Fire Blast and Pyro Blast on one another. Breath coming in by Ornash, but he's playing more defensive with that Breath. And Obliv is playing the Crucible of Flame to throw in more damage into Ornash. Letting more of those asteroids proc. More dot damage overall. Also good self-healing with that one. Throwing a Mally into Ornash. Perfect opportunity for him to push up. But Breath could meet him. Does have Combustion rolling maybe a little bit too early. Trying to get the most damage up and running. Missing the Breath. It actually still has a lot of Combustion damage. Mally still rolling into Ornash. No longer Mallied. Safeguard Trinket proccing out on Obliv, stealing it immediately. Ornash is going to go for big cooldowns, but might have to go for a lot of heals himself. Does have the Warlock Hellstones from Jen and is going to use it. Went for food immediately. Not going to be able to get any eats. Obliv is just slightly ahead of him in health. But looks like Obliv might be a little bit ahead on cooldowns too. Throwing a Meteor into Ornash. Is that going to hit him? Hit him from the other side. But I think he still got clipped by the damage, the fiery damage either way. Maybe when it connects and makes the AoE area. Does land up Breath, does not go for a polymorph onto Obliv, does not go for a ring or anything. Ornash keeps going for Breath and keeps running. He's going to land a Meteor onto Obliv. He's going to walk to the other side of the pillar, slinging Pyroblast around the corner. And I think Ornash is just trying to get himself some position where he can chill, get some food, and Obliv is not going to let him. Missing the Breath, however, super unlucky getting Pyros into Ornash. Could be big scorch damage right now. Not going for it. Looks like he poked out for a second, maybe got instas. And Ornash is super behind. Probably going to be Cauterize coming out. Unless Ornash can get a Breath onto Obliv and turn it around. Does get a Tentacle proccing, but that Tenti is not going to do too much damage. It looks like Obliv is playing this very, very passively, very, very carefully. Ornash might be able to finally get some food, but Obliv is already over there with a mount up. Meteor on one side, forcing Ornash to the other side. That's going to be Icebox immediately. Does not have to worry about Cauterize damage. Is going to get quite a lot of heals from the Warlock Hellstone from Jen. Looks like the Warlock Hellstone came off of the cooldown. Obliv might have to mount up again. Ornash got one tick, maybe of food, maybe one at most. Poly does not get to. Oh, does he get to interrupt? He does. Almost got the Greater Pyro off. I swear, he has to play in Relent. Like, there's no other way he would be able to get out of the Breath and then be able to interrupt him. Unless just super unlucky the Breath ends at that moment. 3 minutes in, Obliv is still chasing after the Ornash. Is going to hit him with a Mally. I think it might have sealed the fate. If the Mastery burns long enough onto Ornash, he's going to be down for the count. Through a Crucible at him. He sees him with Fire Blast, and I think Ornash is down for the count, boys. There he goes. Big old Living Bomb at the end just to add a little bit extra damage over time. And that was all he needed. Next up is going to be a LOL. Going to go for a bit of an auto with Obliv at the 4-minute mark. Just one more minute. And we've seen some dampening, boys. Slow burning death, essentially, yeah. And it looks like Obliv just tried to play that as carefully as he could. He only has one blink. So he's playing with one blink. This man is straight up prepared for Shadowlands, dude. Mages are essentially going to have one blink, even if you go Shimmer. So this man is just preparing. Also, you can see he's not going for Greater Pyroblast, spamming casting, right? He's going for Greater Pyroblast and then stops casting, because Greater Pyroblast is going to have a 15-second cooldown when it works. So essentially just trying to go for Greater Pyroblast and not use it for at least 15 seconds. He's prepared for Shadowlands, essentially, dudes. Let's get it ready. LOL, Trinket. So next setup Obliv has is going to be good for him. Not going to run into the Ring of Frost. Temporal coming up. Could try to steal it. I think he did take the Temporal off. Try to at least get it off before he bikes Obliv. Breath to follow by Mage continuing to run. Was that a Mally out of LOL? It wasn't. It looked like it might have been. But LoL is still on the run after Obliv. Needs to catch up and gain a lot of the health back. It's going to get a stun into Obliv. Needs to get a big old I-beam up and running. Did use a Warlock Hellstone from Jen. Obliv popping in big combustion to follow. Is that a Mally onto LoL? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he tried to, but he might have meted that Mally. Could have been that. Just gonna walk out of the darkness. Not gonna have that cover. Trick coming out for Obliv as another I-beam comes in for LoL. Super far away for Obliv though. Trying to get as many fire blasts as possible, but still looking to kite the demon form as long as possible. Threw a meteor down, and LoL was on the other side of the pillar. Not meeting the meteor. Safeguard trinket up and running. Is going to be able to imprison Obliv for a second. Does steal the safeguard trinket, which then uses to absorb the damage from LoL. LoL super low now. Needs to catch up on health right now. Obliv still running circles around LoL. Mally to follow. No way to heal. And down he goes. Obliv taken out. The Demon Hunter. We had the 5-minute mark. 5% dampening. And Jen is going to be up next. Playing out Affliction more like this time. Interesting choice. Actually might be the way to kill Obliv right now. Because what's he going to do with the dots, right? He can't really do anything. He can't really heal them. Or, I mean, I guess he could refresh. Jen is going to start waddling to Obliv. Trying to see if he can just get those agonies and corruptions rolling again. Essentially, that's all he needs. Is going to eat a breath to the face with a polymorph to follow. No relentless for this bad boy. Greater Pyroblast right after. And Obliv probably going to go for Meteor right after. Maybe it does hit. Or the meteor hits the ground. I don't know if it connects. Obliv does get himself a little bit extra health. That's going to be Guardian of Azeroth for Jen. And Obliv is just going to have to avoid that thing. That thing really does a lot of damage, honestly. In PvP, it just freebie damage. Jen either got a random prog for a Dark Glare or summoned one. And it looked like he might have actually summoned one. That is going to be Hysteria, too. Dark Soul Hysteria. Is it Hysteria? I think it's Hysteria. But that's going to be a lot of haste for Jen. Should be really good for his dots. If he really gets any kind of dot pressure rolling into Obliv. So far, just try to see if he could get away. He is getting kind of between a rock and a hard place with that Dark Glare, and the pet had to get out. But it looks like Obliv so far has been hanging in. He's not really gaining a lot of health, but he's not really going through a big rotting spree that Jen was hoping to do with those dots. Big combustion coming out for Obliv. Jen is just going to try to see if he can bail the hell out of there for a moment. And Obliv blinking around, getting a couple of those fire blasts, looking to get a pyro in there. Mortal Coil coming out is going to be tricky for Obliv to get out of that CC as Wall comes in for Jen, trying to get Uways up onto Obliv. As long as he cannot get Uways, Obliv isn't going to take the most amount of damage. Uways are going to add 10% extra damage to those dots, and Uways do quite a bit of dot damage too. Try to see if he can get Jen to walk into the ring. Does not get to. Jen is just going to go and reset all their dots. Needs to get Uways at some point or another. Otherwise, he's not going to do any damage. Interrupt into Jen. Obliv is perfectly free to just push up right now, but he doesn't really have the mobility to make a play here. It's going to get a mallet rolling to Jen. That's going to be Master of Fire Mage burning. Jen unable to heal at all. Mortal Coil needs to come out or something. And Obliv is actually recovering health as Jen is just taking a fully defensive stance to try to run away from Obliv. Does go for Warlock Hellstone as soon as that Mally breaks. Did not want to use Warlock Hellstone while Mally was on him. Mortal Coil to get himself a little bit extra health. Getting dots back up and running onto Obliv. Try to get a UA up and running too. Pyroblast coming out for Obliv instead. Is going to blink around. So far, Jen has just been on the run, tail tucked between his legs. Just trying to get the hell out of here. So far, not a lot you can essentially do. Might as well just dot up the mage as much as possible, so the next guy might have an easier time. I kept swapping to the wrong person, boys. I'm so sorry. I kept swapping to the wrong people. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to do it on purpose. Stunned by M6. Obliv is going to ice block it, actually. I'm surprised. Into rune to M6 is gonna use this gnomish racial to break out of that root for a second. Obliv got himself temporal. Trying to get a poly onto M6. Not happening though. That's gonna be a poly back at Obliv. Actually, I think he would have liked getting poly. That would have been allowed him to get a little health back. I think he wouldn't have been against that at all. Meteor coming crashing down into M6. Does go for Dust Gather onto Obliv. He does have a little bit of health still left. M6 health is just disappearing. Not even combustion damage. Just the Meteor Fire Blast and a Greater Pyro is enough to put him in a bad spot. Obliv still in that Safeguard Trinket as soon as he can. Getting interrupted on Frost, so now he can still get all the fiery damage he needs to. Reflect out for M6. Obliv got himself big damage rolling. Cauterize still available if he needs to. Is going to get Cauterize blinking away as the Cauterize procs is going to do some damage to him. Trying to get a Ring of Frost up and running. Trying to get M6 the hell out of there. And M6 might just have to walk through it. Maybe no. Try not to. It's trying really hard not to walk through a Ring of Frost. But it's given Obliv plenty of opportunity to get some kites rolling. Has Invis if he needs to. Trying to get buffs up and running into a freeze into M6. Could go for Invis if he wanted to. Trying to make sure he has a good position off M6 because he could go for a leap into a charge. Polymorph, does it connect? It does connect. Obliv might be able to go for a big setup, maybe with Meteor and Invis. Blink, anything? He does know that M6 rolls in with a Mally. Oh, no, not Mally, but a Stormbolt. That's going to be a Stormbolt up and running for M6. Mally rolling on him. Does get to reflect some of that Mally damage back to Obliv, actually. So Obliv is the one with no health regen for a moment. Breath onto M6 does go for a big blink. Reaping Flames for M6. Leap on top of Obliv. Try to get a Nova on him, but the Blaze Storm keeps him up and running. Obliv with barely any health available. Could go for a... I was going to say could go for a Undead Racial that to break out, but M6 does end up capping him out at the end. It's going to be a charge into what looks like Ja Rakal next. Are you playing Boomkin? You're not. You're Feral. I guess you just want to make sure you have a Rejuve rolling. Destrigath coming out. I think by M6. Twisted Appendage rolling onto M6. He has to eliminate the thing immediately. And Ja is just going to go for a little bit of a kiting spree with those dots. He's playing Crucible so he can heal himself or do damage back to M6 if he wants to. Wall and his damage with Thorns up and running. Wall and Thorns, I think you should stay in with those. Just an appendage onto M6 does reflect. At least he's going to trick it out of that main. That appendage actually did quite a bit of work, and Jaws does get himself an opportunity to catch a restealth for a second. M6 getting a leap charge, heal, but Jaws, I mean, he just has so many dots on him that's just not a lot you can really do there, man. And Brew is going to be the last one left on Team Red. Kidney Shot on the Jal is going to get a wall up and running. So if he rolls the right traits, after this wall, he should be able to get an armor buff as well as a mastery buff. We should allow him to get even more damage back at Brew, which is like a tank trait, but still it should be pretty strong for him. Big bite onto Brew. He needs to get his own dots up and running. Jal could go for Thorns anytime now. Gonna go for a short maim. Trick coming out for Brew. Cheap shot on Jal. Does he have the big damage here? Does get a Twisted Appendage. Can he shot maybe to follow up? That's gonna be Thorns. Could be Cloak of Shadows for Brew. Super low on health. Not a lot he can really do about it. He's gonna go for advantage. Trying to see if he can run away from the Feral. Cheap shot to follow right after. Cloak of Shadows available for the Thorns. Not a lot of damage really left. Yet another short maim. Invasion is up. Could actually have no damage. Onto Jal. 12 minutes of kicking in. Dampening is pretty high. Blind on the Jal. Bruge is gonna have to wait for a bit. Landing a sap. He isn't Bear from, so Jal could survive while in Bear. Renewal coming up very, very soon. He needs to press it on cooldown. Dampening is pretty high. Might still not survive out of a powerful rogue opener, even with Renewal. Trying to make a play. Poison Bomb proc does happen. Does go for a Sippy Cup in between of that. I don't really know if that's how you want to use your energy. You know, pop it in the opener. 30 energy just for Sippy Cup, but maybe he needed to. Just that bench coming in. Jal struggling to kill it, but it does eliminate it. And Brew tried to see if he could bail the hell out of it. Keeping the poisons on Jal. Wall coming out for the Feral. Does get hit with the kidney shot. Brew staying in there. Not going for kiting at all. That's going to be Thorns to top out as well. Maim right after, and Jal does take him out. And there it is, boys. Obliv went in for 3 kills. Lots of damage, lots of healing, actually. This man is preparing for Shadowlands, dude. He's actually doing pretty well. Rogue Junior versus Rogue Senior? Essentially, yeah. Essentially. So, if Shaman versus Druid versus a Monk is still a legit debate. Really? Funny feeling.